When I first moved to Bedwellty Pits about 5 years ago, I was shown an old picture of the coal mines and then told that the plateau was made up of old slag from different steelworks and the debris from the coal mines. But what intrigued me the most was the way that the mosses and lichens had made these strange rocks their homes. Colonies of red ants have moved in that dig intensive burrows underground like the old miners and deposit the dirt in these lumps that look like large molehills. But also, the ants decorate the top of their mounds with the most beautiful flowers, grasses, mosses and lichens. I was told that 30 years ago, this entire valley was a black landscape and the river was rotten. But now, nature has taken it back and there are now even brown trout in the river and people come and walk their dogs around the valley due to its beauty. I've decided to find out more about the history of the area from someone who can remember Bedwellty Pits in its prime, to get a better idea of how the valley looked before nature took it back.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Are you going to tell me about Bedwellty Pits?
Well,
and
yes.
the history?
You know the road that runs down past Bedwellty Pits? It's running along the top there, over that bridge.
That bridge is still there?
That bridge is still there, and this is the old tramway that took the waste from the coal pit up the mountain and tipped it out up there.
I always thought it was taking the stones from up there down to here.
From the quarry, you mean?
Yeah.
No,
How did they get down from the quarry then?
the quarry came across up to Cavangola. This was a tramway leading up, and then they turned it into an aerial flight, so that there were huge containers which travel on wire ropes up over the road and up to the top there to be tipped again. Because this side was what we call the screens. The coal came up, it was tipped out of the trams or the little wagons, and then it went onto a screen where it was sorted, and any slag that was in it was taken out and so on, and the railway line ran through it, so the coal could go straight from the screens then into the trucks to be loaded in those trucks over there, which took it on down and joined the main line.
But apparently up there now you've got peregrine falcons nesting.
Really?
Yeah, so it's quite a protected bit.
But I think you're right in what you said, that it was the stone from there that actually built the
houses.
the houses here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the stone, when you look at the stone, you think, well, that looks like my house. Yeah. Yeah, so it's all changing and it's all going to change more, isn't it? When I first moved here, I saw the remains of the industrial past in the landscape. Having learnt more, I don't think I would have lived here during the Black Days, but it is good to know about what was here then.
"5 days ago, on holiday now, a muttered conversation between Grandpa and Grandma. Grandpa had been sharpening his hatchet, and Grandma had been saying something to him quietly but urgently. 'It'll have to be tomorrow,' he said. 'Let's hope it's fine.' Tomorrow dawned damp and grey. Our hopes of going out were low, but to our surprise Mum said, 'It's not too bad out. Put your caps and coats on and get some fresh air. I don't want you under my feet all day.' Delighted but bemused, we seized the opportunity and ran. We always ran up to the other rows, but there was no sign of any other boys, kept in because of the weather, we supposed. John and Emlyn seemed to know something that I didn't, and I pestered them to tell me. 'Well, why do you think Grandpa's sharpening his hatchet?' said Emlyn. I had no idea. 'What will we have for Christmas dinner?' said John impatiently. 'Sprouts and Swedes and cabbage and potatoes. Oh no, the goose. Grandpa's going to kill a goose.' 'We'll keep watch,' said John. 'He did it last year in the yard. Mum sent us upstairs, but we watched through the window. You had your nose in a book as usual.' 'We can't go back,' said Emlyn, 'or we'll be in trouble, but we can see him get the goose.' We went and hid near the garden. A squawking and a frantic flapping of wings. Grandpa emerged from the shed where the geese were housed for the night, with a goose under one arm, and a hand gripping its twisting, writhing neck. I knew that goose. I had helped drive them home from the green after school. She was the biggest of the three, and always threatened us, hissing, head down and neck outstretched. I didn't like her much, and I don't think she liked me. But I thought of Grandpa sharpening his hatchet, and I began to cry. "Oh, shut up, Grandpa, I'll hear you." But I sobbed, and the tears rolled down my cheeks. "Don't be such a baby. You won't be crying when we eat her on Christmas Day." But I promised myself that I wouldn't eat any. As we passed the shed on the way to the gate, I caught a glimpse of something white through the window. I looked again. It was the goose, hanging upside down by its tied feet, and it had no head. Grandpa had cut his head off. I burst into tears and ran indoors. "I don't want to go with Grandpa. He's killed the goose." And I saw in my mind those strong, clever hands and the hatchet, and heard the thud as it fell, and the goose was dead. "Come and sit on the couch with me," said Nine, and she put her arm around me, hugging me close. "I know," she said, "it seems awful cruel, but we've got to eat, and that's why we keep them. The chickens lay eggs, we eat some, and we keep some, so we'll have more chickens. We make broth and stew when we use beef or lamb from the butcher. The bacon you had for breakfast this morning came from one of our pigs. We have to have proper food from somewhere and make sure we don't go hungry. It's like the garden, where we grow potatoes, swedes, carrots, onions, leeks and cabbage. I know it seems cruel, Bach, but it's the way we have to live. We couldn't afford to keep them as pets, but we look after them well as long as we have them." I felt a little easier in my mind. I could understand the eating. The smell from Mam's oven would give anyone an appetite. It was the killing that upset me. "Now off you go," said Mam. "Grandpa'll be wondering where you are." I ran quickly up the yard, keeping my eyes on the ground as I passed the shed, and got to the feeder as the boats were being launched. For some time my heart wasn't in it, but gradually the excitement of John and Emlyn and Grandpa infected me, and the memory of the goose faded. The wind was steady but not too strong, and we raced our boats across the feeder, then ran round to retrieve them and came back to launch them again. The gathering dusk of the winter afternoon put an end to the races, and full of chatter and boasting about our particular boat, we made our way home. "Put the boats in the shed," said Grandpa, and as I stepped inside with mine, I saw the goose again, headless, lifeless, ghostly in the gloom of the shed. And that night I fled desperately through my twisting, sweating dreams, chased by a hissing, headless goose.